Finn the Detective. Mystery of the Magic Key. An original production by Finsvikiss. Screenplay by Finsvikiss. Video version by Grandadvikiss and Finsvikiss.
Are you ready? I said. Are you ready? Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Well, if you're ready, let's introduce you to the plot. If you're ready, make yourself comfortable. But before we start, switch off those mobiles. Yes, you in the middle. Yes, your telephone. I am a robot after all. Enjoy.
Hello, this is Finn. I'm going to tell you a story about the magic key.
Finn the Detective mysteries are available in paperback or Kindle through Amazon. We hope you enjoy the series of mysteries solved by Finn.
Finn the Detective. Mystery of the Magic Key. Screenplay by Finsvikiss. Starring Finn as the detective, Harriet as the princess, and a load of other celebrities.
A QSA production.
With special guest appearance, the Queen of England.
Are you ready for the next Finn the Detective story? In his latest adventure, Finn the Detective attempts to solve the mystery of the magic key, the Tower of London. The crown jewels are well protected here, or so the Queen of England thought. It was believed to be the most secure and heavily guarded place on Earth. How could anyone steal the crown jewels? The Tower of London had a very sophisticated security system. The Tower of London had never been broken into. The crown jewels were protected by the most sophisticated security system, CCTV, and specially commissioned digital locks.
Finn the Detective and the Mystery of the Magic Key. Will Finn the Detective solve this latest mystery? Who stole the Queen of England's crown jewels?
Hello, this is Finn. I'm going to solve the mystery of the magic key.
The Queen demanded an immediate investigation.
One needs an explanation. What is one to do without the crown jewels? The Tower of London is supposed to be impregnable, secure and protected.
Send for the Queen's locksmith and ask him to report to me, Prince Charles. We need an immediate and thorough investigation. Mummy wants her crown jewels back.
Despite all investigations conducted by the Metropolitan Police, MI5, and even the Beefeaters, there were no clues. It must have been the work of a mastermind. The magic key could open any lock in the world. The key held magic powers that could bypass any security system, whether it was electronic, digital or mechanical. The key was so powerful that no amount of protection could ever stop those that held it from entering the place that the security system was designed to protect. No one knew who owned the magic key. The key possessed the power to bypass any security system. Investigators were clueless. The magic key must belong to a master criminal.
Finn the Detective was appointed by the Queen to find the stolen crown jewels. To locate the jewels he would need to look for clues. The first clue was a purple glove.
Who owned the purple glove? There was only one mastermind who wore purple gloves. The glove was his or her signature prop. A purple glove was always left at the scene of the crime. No one had ever set eyes on the master criminal. In some circles, the purple glove was said to belong to Prince Charming, better known as Prince Charles. Finn did not believe this.
What? The Queen's son a master criminal? I don't believe it. But I guess I'll have to interview him as my first line of inquiry. Could this really be an inside job?
Finn the Detective set off to interview Prince Charles at his country mansion.
Good morning, Prince Charles. I do not wish to accuse you or come across as rude, but did you steal the Queen's crown jewels that were until recently locked in the Tower of London?
No offense taken. No, certainly not. I'm a prince and would not steal anything that did not belong to me. Let me help you to solve the crime of the century, Detective Finn. Here. Take this book of magic. I found it in the Queen's library.
Finn took the book of magic, and patiently read its contents. Page 43 was a pop-up page of the Tower of London. He wondered whether the accompanying words had any relevance. To unlock the treasure you seek, requires a magic key and a kiss from a princess to activate. Finn looked closely at page 43. With his magnifying glass he could just about make out a signature. The signature looked like the name, Harriet. Could this be the name of the princess? Princess Harriet? I'll consult with the queen. Perhaps she will be able to tell me all about Princess Harriet.
Oh yes, lovely girl, and so pretty. She and her friend were here the other week. They headed back to King Arthur's castle, but we haven't heard from her since she left. I hope she is okay. Do you think she has anything to do with the stolen crown jewels?
I'm not sure, Your Majesty, but she may be able to help with our inquiries.
Finn the detective caught the next train to the county of Cornwall. The castle that King Arthur built was very difficult to find. None of the locals knew its precise location. After many days of hiking across the county of Cornwall, Finn the detective finally figured out where the ruined castle of King Arthur was located. Hopefully, the castle would be the current residence of Princess Harriet.
At last, there it is. King Arthur's castle. The castle where I will find Princess Harriet. I hope she is in. I need to question her about the stolen crown jewels.
The castle had belonged to King Arthur many years ago. It was very impressive. It was protected by a large moat. The drawbridge was closed, so there was no way to enter it. Although he tried to draw attention to the residents of the castle, no one appeared or responded.
Is anyone there? Is anyone there? I guess not. But there must be. I can feel it. Somehow, I must get inside that castle. I've got it. I have a plan.
The plan was to swim across the moat, climb up the castle walls, and continue his investigation. Surely, there was someone living in the castle. Hopefully, Princess Harriet. The plan was perfect. He threw a rope to the top of the battlements and steadily crawled up the wall.
Finn the detective was now inside the castle. A bit wet, but he was inside.
Is anyone here? Hello. Is anyone living here?
Who are you? How dare you enter my castle?
Hello. I'm Finn the detective. I'm here to make inquiries about a recent incident at the Tower of London. The Queen had her crown jewels stolen. Can you help?
Never been to London. Never been to the Tower of London. In fact, I've never laid eyes on the Queen or her crown jewels. Sorry, I cannot help. Looks like you have had a wasted journey. You must be hungry and thirsty after all that travel. Would you like to join us for lunch?
Why, thank you for your most kind invitation. Who do I have the pleasure in dining with?
I'm Bodmin the Goblin. Follow me this way for lunch. You can tell me all about London and the Queen. We will be joined by my dearest friend. Come now. Come now.
Lunch was very pleasant, with polite probing questions from Finn the detective. The goblin pretended not to know anything about the stolen crown jewels.
May I introduce you to Princess Harriet? I hope you enjoyed lunch. If there are no further questions, please excuse me as I have another appointment shortly. Please finish your drink. When you are ready to leave, Princess Harriet will escort you to the drawbridge. I hope you have a pleasant journey back to London.
Thank you. I very much enjoyed your company. If you are sure there is nothing else you can help me with, I'll be off shortly.
As they walked towards the drawbridge, Finn sensed Princess Harriet wished to say something. Are you okay? Said Finn. No, she said. You need to get me out of here quickly. Without further delay, Finn the detective quickened his pace towards the drawbridge.
Stop. Do not go any further. You are taking liberties, sir. I give you my hospitality and this is how you repay me. Taking my princess with you. Back to London, I guess. Sorry, my friend, you're not going anywhere. It's to the dungeons for both of you. Ha 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 ha. To the dungeons. To the dungeons.
Finn and Harriet contemplated their position in the cold, damp dungeon in the depths of King Arthur's castle, now vacated by the goblin. Princess Harriet began to explain her plight. How she was tricked into stealing the crown jewels. Finn listened patiently as the princess began to unfold her story.
Go on then, Princess Harriet. Tell him all about your sad tale. It matters not, for neither of you will be leaving my castle.
I was tricked by the goblin.
He persuaded me to steal the crown jewels by pretending to have been appointed by Prince Charles, who wanted to test the security system. The goblin convinced me that he had the authority from the royal household to penetrate the sophisticated security system. This would assure the Queen that her crown jewels were safely locked up in the Tower of London. He even showed me the written authority. How stupid I have been, and now we are both locked up in this dungeon. What are we going to do? Oh my, oh my. How did the goblin manage to fool me?
Don't upset yourself, Princess Harriet. Continue explaining to me how the goblin stole the Queen of England's crown jewels.
Princess Harriet told Finn the whole dastardly story of how she was tricked and how the goblin managed to steal the most precious of precious crown jewels of England.
Well, she said, the goblin is actually 2,000 years old. Back in the days of King Arthur, the goblin assisted Merlin the Great Wizard. Merlin was very fond of the goblin. Merlin gave the goblin a key. This key, said Merlin, has the potential to open any lock, bypass any security, hide you from any guards, make you invisible. All you have to do is activate the key. Find a princess willing to kiss you and the key will be yours to do as you please. But use it wisely, my friend, said Merlin. The goblin thanked Merlin the Great Wizard for his kind gift, the magic key. I will not let you down, said the goblin. Merlin reminded the goblin that he would need a princess's kiss. Merlin laughed, as he secretly knew that no one would kiss the goblin. The goblin outlived King Arthur and Merlin. Try as he could, no princess would kiss the goblin. As the years rolled by, living alone in the castle, the goblin despaired at the thought of never activating the magic key. But luckily for the goblin, at last came the day. The day that Princess Harriet came across the magic book that told the story of King Arthur, Merlin the Great Wizard and Goblin. She set off to search for King Arthur's castle. Not believing his eyes, the goblin called to Princess Harriet.
Please come into my humble castle.
Princess Harriet was so pleased to have found the castle. The legendary goblin was inviting her in. She was so excited at the prospect.
Over dinner, the goblin told Harriet stories about King Arthur and Merlin. The adventures of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table.
Oh my. What an exciting life you have led.
And in her excitement, jumped up, and gave the goblin a big kiss on his cheek.
The goblin smiled. At last he thought to himself, after all these years, a princess has kissed me. Now, the magic key will be mine. It has been activated by the princess. Haha.
End of episode 1. Please continue with the final part of Finn the Detective Mystery of the Magic Key. Episode 2 is on YouTube.